Happy Hot Take Tuesday. Hot take, baby. Excited. It's my Friday. Be off till next Tuesday. So, Afton. It's interesting to watch. She has grown in stature over the last, I would say, month and a half. She's got back into the race, and it's been very interesting to watch. They've thrown a ton of money at this race with Van Epps. And I saw him yesterday. He's like, look, finally we have signs. I'm like, a little late on that one. She's definitely made a move, and they're coming after her hardcore. And let's be real, there's plenty of cannon fodder out there. But a lot of it is from years ago, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. What does she really stand for, right? Because Belle and I talk about it all the time. I mean, we don't agree with like 90% of what most politicians say, so it doesn't really matter. But she's a good person, right? She's good people. You don't have to like her politics to my buddy Jimmy and his brother Ray, way more progressive than she is. And they're great people. I love them to death. We should not talk politics. And we do once in a while just because I like to watch them get riled up and they get riled up. But as a human being, good. And as I was explaining to somebody earlier, they hate America. They say they hate this, they hate that. No, what happens, what you're seeing is, and I'll pull back the curtains here, is the way the algorithms work now. Find the most extreme, crazy thing, make it that everybody in the party is that way, right? Everybody in the party is this way. And everybody in the party wants the same thing this person does, and then the most extreme side of stuff, and make that the reaction that you're going to have. And what happens? The algorithm feeds you onto that, and then you think all of these things. When that's not true. It isn't. So what did the you saw the Fox Belle? What did it say? She hates kids. What did she say? Some weird thing like that. She doesn't like kids.
No, I can't remember now. I didn't write it down, but it was something ridiculous that was just.
She wants power and no kids.
Oh yeah. It was like she was talking about her preferences for her personal life, and she said she wasn't into having kids. She preferred power.
Okay. So, it is, it's interesting.
Which if that's a legit formula, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Hey, I've always said, and I've told my friends who don't have kids, who said they don't want kids, I said, then don't have kids.
Yeah.
If you don't want kids, don't have them. And that's okay.
It is okay.
The best thing about having kids is being able to sell them.
That's it. That's true. I mean,
Because when you have kids, you got kids.
Yeah. There is no like, you know what? We tried it. We weren't really a fan of it. We thought they were, this was going to be more enjoyable. Did you know that they need stuff? Yeah. You've got them. They're there. And by the way, I can't wait till you're 18. 18 means nothing.
No, sir.
18 means, man, remember when you were a kid and I could buy you a little toy and you'd be happy? Now you want a down payment for a house.
Yes. It never ends. And I'm glad for that in my life, but
absolutely.
Still wish my kids could buy their own house.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would like that.
Yeah.
I mean, your kids aren't the only kids.
Nope.
So, but, everybody's like, well, she harasses cops. Yeah, you know what? They did a big thing for ICE. They feel, I get that. But it is one of those things where we take a situation and we're going to run with it and say, this is what, it's not even about whether or not it's Afton. It's like, that's what the entire party is like. And it's not. By the way, 90% of people who vote for like Trump and Mondani were voted on for the same reason. People wanted to send an FU to the establishment. That's it. Go look at the exit polls. Most of the people, and I mean a vast majority of people, they want no part of socialism. They just wanted to disrupt the situation in New York because they felt it was untenable the way it was going. It is about, this is what makes us at each other's throats all the time, because everybody focuses on the extremes. Nobody focuses on the things that matter. It is so much easier to get you to become emotional. Okay, so to get an emotion out of you and to get you angry and to get you reactionary, while everything else that matters goes on. And you're sitting there fighting over what did somebody tweet or what did somebody say or what did somebody do. Did that help pay your bills? Is that helping prices come down? Is that fixing some of the issues that really matter in this country? Is that helping trying to get our government out of healthcare so we can get it back to some sort of affordable reality? No, because why? It's all emotion. Because it's algorithm-based now. It is so algorithm-based.
That's why there's so much rage bait out there, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, just...
So, it is rage bait. It's exactly what it is. It's rage bait. It is rage bait. And the putting something up there and just throwing up a headline. How many headlines do you read? Whether it's the New York Times or the New York Post or any of these things, you got to go all the way down to like the 12th paragraph to find out what the real story is.
Exactly.
Why? Because it was all about getting you to react in an emotional way. It's not about reality. I hear more people talk about kids and trans and girls sports. Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. No way should a boy, I'm not talking about like 10-year-olds, all the kids playing together, but I'm talking about a 19-year-old playing into girls. No, that shouldn't happen. We shouldn't be mean to the kid. Sorry, that's ridiculous for those who want that. We should have empathy, but no, it shouldn't happen. But if that's the only thing you're focusing on while prices go through the roof and your kid has to live at home till they're 37, and you hope they marry somebody who's got a house.
Yeah.
I mean, that we need to focus on things that matter.
I don't think people heading into the midterms give one rat's ass about trans.
No, not at this point. No, and not at this point. But that's the way that everybody wants to come at all of these things because it's great for rage bait. It's great for selling the story and the cultural issues. When life gets too damn expensive, things, rage bait and that kind of stuff, that's a luxury when things are great. When things aren't great, that's not a luxury anymore. Nobody cares about that. Nobody does. So it is, and here's the other thing I know. Nobody wants the truth. Nobody cares about the truth anymore. Nobody does.
Yeah, it's boring and it also hurts.
Yeah. And because when you live in the world,
what makes me feel good.
That's exactly. I want to know. Just tell me what I want to hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me what I want to hear. No. Do you want to know what you want to hear? Do you want to hear what the actual truth is? And we've got a big split in this country too. We've got an over 65 group that thinks everything is great. Why is that? Because they're retired, mostly retired. They own their own homes. They've got money in the bank. They have a vast majority of the wealth in this country. And you've got a younger generation that is trying to survive, come out of college. What is it? 25% of college graduates are unemployed.
And they make up the most.
Think about that for a second.
They've paid for college, or they're still paying for college, and they cannot find a job.
Cannot find a job. And the job, and you know what they're going to be? They're going to be underemployed soon for what they paid for. The numbers today for the jobs, not good. They weren't ADP because we're not getting numbers out of the White House. We're not getting any numbers. And why those numbers matter is because that's how investors decide what they're going to do with their investments so they're not blindsided by something. That's why they look at certain things. But 1 in 4, no gig. And it's not because they're lazy. Look, are there those kids out there? Yes. But it's like the whole thing with what was it called? The pink hairs and the they, thems and all that kind of stuff, which is, if I show you 1,000 people and I talk to 3 with pink hair, or I talk to 2 MAGA guys who are like, that doesn't make up everything. But if I can get you to believe that's the entire crowd, I've got you. What the CIA used to call it, nut picking, right? If 100 people would see a UFO, they'd go to the guy with no teeth, right? Yeah. Smoking a cigarette, doing the double dragon, right? Right? Talking about, hey, man, let me tell you something. I saw something flying in the air, right?
Like boom hour.
Yeah, boom hour.
Dango saucer out there.
And guess what happens? Everybody's like, well, that's why nobody talks about it, because all the people who see UFOs are nuts. It's just, We are being played by the media because it's great to keep us engaged. We're being played by social media because it's great to keep us engaged. Because the more that we're engaged, the more we fight, the more we're going to stick around. The longer we stick around, the longer we're a customer. And again, this is not about right or left. This is just about, can we be honest about what's going on?
Yeah, bachelor's degree holders now account for 25% of total unemployment. That's a historical high. Other education levels saw little or no increase, suggesting the pressure is concentrated among the college grads.
Yeah, that is. And what's the average? I wonder what the average college student comes out, because you're going to get grants, you're going to get a few things. What do you think? It's 40, 50 grand?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably accurate.
That you're going to pay on for the rest of your life. When you hear the stories about people that are the average debt coming out of school right now is $42,673. If you get a graduate degree, $106,000. A master's, $81,000. Any doctoral degree, $200,000 plus.
Goodness.
My goodness me. That is insane. Good God. That is crazy. And that's with your grants, and that's what you're coming out with. So you're already coming out with a $600 to $1,000 a month payment. That's how you're starting behind the eight ball already. Those things matter. And by the way, who's going to be the biggest voting bloc? Probably already is. It's the millennials and the Gen Zs.
Those Gen Zs, man, there are a lot of them now.
Yeah, and they are not driven by an ideology of right or left. They're driven by what is going to be the best for us at this time. You can't pigeonhole them into
They do
this.
not care.
Nope, they don't. What's going to be good for us? What's going to be good for my generation? And that's why it's not a class warfare. Right now, it's a generational warfare. And that generational warfare, I understand why, if I came out of school and I have $50,000 in debt, I can't find a job, and the job I can find is going to be well below what I just paid for. And now AI's coming in, and where I would normally be starting off now, they may not be there for that. It is, you can understand why they're a little perturbed. Why? Because everybody sold them a dream of going to college or else. You're not going to have a bachelor's degree, and nobody's ever going to hire you.
41 million Gen Z Americans were eligible to vote in 2024.
That is massive.
And a good bunch of them, as we saw, voted Trump.
Yeah. That is.
But they did it on the promise that economically things were going to get better. And I'm not blaming Trump. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. You know what?
Whoever's in office, that's where the buck stops.
That's exactly it. I mean, and most people, by the way, right and left, say the economy's not great. Independents the same way. And most people right and left say, all right, Trump, this is your economy now.
Gen Z and millennials combined now have overtaken baby boomers as the largest voting bloc in the country.
Yeah, that is. And they are absolutely about who is going to do the best for their generation and for them. And they look around, and what do they say? We want America first. No, we don't want to give money to Israel or anybody else. We can't afford anything. We've got these fat debts sitting there in front of us. And now what are you going to do? How are you going to help us? Because the baby boomers are all voting for, is there any way we can get a tax break? Is there any way you guys can pay more taxes and we pay no taxes? And then they wonder why nobody wants to have a kid. What are they going to do, live in a tent? Coming up, it's Hot Take Tuesday. We got some hot takes here. Most of it's based around food. Why? Because of Thanksgiving. We got some serious hot takes, including Belle, who apparently hates turkey. So we're going to talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk, 99.7. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh,
Dude,
my Lord.
People are definitely heading out today, man.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I'm looking at the cameras, and they are leaving.
They are leaving. What does they always say? Leave before noon or after 9?
Yeah.
So,
I take the North Loop home, and then I hit Ellington, so stay the hell out of my way.
What I do is a walk down the street, so there's that. So you got that going for you. There's that. Speaking of hot takes.
Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday.
Hot Take Tuesday, baby. We give our your hot takes here. That has nothing to do with politics or any of that stuff, just pop culture life in general. Today it's food. We're going to start with you, my man, Ken.
Pecans on the dessert table are like raisins in cookies. Nobody asked for that betrayal.
That is a betrayal. Pecan. I've just never been a huge fan of pecans.
Just
They're
keep it
okay.
in the pie.
Yeah.
Keep it in the pie.
Yeah, keep it away from anything that don't ruin something that's awesome with your pecans. Okay, your foolishness. Okay,
Especially brownies and cupcakes.
oh, brownies and cupcakes. Goodness me. My hot take is sriracha is not. It's not a lifestyle. Okay, it is not an identity. It is not. It is not any. You kids, foodies. Being a foodie is not. It's not who you are. Or it's, I like food. I like some hot sauce. I like sriracha. I like this. I like that. That's great. It is not an actual identity that you can make where you're like, this is who I am as a person. So stop it, okay? Stop bringing
You know
it
what
everywhere.
sriracha is?
So none of that is sriracha. You love it though, because you're a
It's
weirdo.
a beverage.
It is a beverage. Good God!
I want to see somebody drink sriracha.
Was it Hillary when she talked about how she carries around hot sauce in her purse? Does anybody believe the crap that comes out of you guys' mouth? You guys lie to everybody. I just want to know who buys it. Who goes, oh, I knew she kept that inside her purse. What do you got for us, Belle?
Turkey is just not that great. And I know it's a tradition, but I'd rather have a ribeye.
Oh. Yeah, I like a ribeye. I like turkey when done right. When turkey, let's be real, when it's dry, it's awful.
It's terrible.
It is.
You cannot have dry turkey.
No, it's horrible. It's not what our founding fathers wanted. It's definitely not what those pilgrims wanted when they came over and beat up the Indians and took all their food. I'm kidding. It's a joke. But no, they don't want that. They had deer, they had pheasant, they had all that kind of stuff. They didn't have turkey. Wild turkey, maybe. But if it's done wrong, let's be real, turkey's awful. I mean, there's only so much mayonnaise you could put on something when you're trying to make a turkey sandwich when it's that dry. You're like, what's it like? Well, the bread and the mayonnaise are good. But then you get to the turkey and it's like eating cardboard.
Well, the problem is when you're cooking something that big, it's so easy to screw it up that to some degree that most people do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Because it takes a special somebody, right? There's a reason that mom is up at 3 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day, right? Already dressed, music's blaring, getting stuff ready, because it has to be done in such a way. Because how many times you get excited because it's beautiful and crisp on the outside, and you taste the outside like, oh, this is great. And then it's awful, right? We've seen that in the movie Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
No, I think it's all right. It's a little dry. You don't want that, is what we're saying, kids. You don't want that at all. Got some of your text messages coming up. A lot of those as you guys respond to Afton and what we were talking about there. And we got some numbers. I didn't play. So I'm going to play some economy numbers as well here. Plus a bunch of other good stuff on the way before we get out of here. I just saw Matt wandering around because, he's got his show after mine. And so we'll do the Welcome Matt coming up in a little bit as well. If you're missing the show, grab our podcast. We appreciate it when you do. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Raycon, best earbuds around. I love you, Bill. They're amazing. Right now, 40% off site-wide. When you go to buyraycon.com/Chad. This is the time of the year when you want to give. And let me tell you something, Raycon delivers the best when it comes to over-the-ear headphones. When it comes to the regular old kind of headphones that you would think. And yes, the best earbuds around. On top of that, they've got fast chargers, all the stuff for your home. It is awesome. Up to 40% off site-wide. So if you want to deliver the best in electronics, the best in sound, Raycon delivers that over and over again. And their earbuds are 8 hours of talk time, 32 hours of battery life. amazing fast charge. So every 10 minutes gets you 90 minutes of listening power. I mean, I can go on and on. Active noise cancellation, multi-connectivity. These things are awesome. But check out everything they have. Start winning the holidays early. Go to buyraycon.com/chat. Save up to 40% now. Buyraycon.com/chat. We'll start over again. Here we go. Part 2. Hey, Super Talk 99.7 WTN is building a field of toys Tuesday, December 9th at Nissan Stadium to benefit Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels. So while you're out and about on your holiday shopping, pick up an extra toy or gift for a senior. Bring it to our 18th annual toy field sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control to help fulfill the dreams of thousands of children in need this holiday season. If you want to find out more, come out and see us all out there. Visit 997WTN.com/events. The economy, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, if we're honest with ourselves, I think most everything we see out there is it's not firing on all cylinders. I want the economy to be awesome. I don't care who the president is. People who want the economy to fail when a Democrat or Republican's in because they're not your party, you're an idiot.
How do Americans feel about inflation, how it's impacting their lives right now?
They think prices are rising, and it's across different. Look at this. I mean, just your costs are up versus a year ago. Groceries, 85%. Utilities, 78%. Healthcare, 67%. Housing, 66%. Gasoline, 54%. The bottom line is this. Americans feel like prices are rising in each and every single part of their lives, rising ever climber, and they just don't feel like, Kate Baldwin, that they can catch a break.
And I think a lot of people feel that way. I've heard from several of you today. It was like, I want it to be great, but I can't lie. No, nobody's asking anybody to lie. And it's not about wanting Trump to succeed or fail. I want him to succeed. What I don't want him is to tell us over and over again how amazing everything is, right? And Scott Besson in them, and tell everybody how amazing everything is when it isn't as great as you say. Because reality, I look, bank account, smaller than it was, right? Didn't get as much. Look over here. And you're telling me something different. No, I'm going to believe my eyes, right? That's it.
The Treasury Secretary in new comments kind of dismissed the impact tariffs is having on inflation, also saying that prices are going to be coming down in weeks. Some other prices are going to be coming down in months. What do Americans think about that?
Yeah, they think he's full of it. That's exactly what they think. I mean, just take a look here. Tariffs raising prices right now. I'm going to come over Kate's side of the screen, 71%.
How dare you?
How dare I do that? 84% of Democrats, 74% of independents, and even a majority of Republicans. When you can get a majority of Republicans to agree with majority of Democrats, you know that the pain is being felt by the American public right now. The Treasury Secretary can try and tell the people something, but they can feel in their pocketbooks. They simply put, don't buy what he and this administration is selling them when it comes to tariffs.
And how can you? The reality is what? You can sit here and talk to me all day about tariffs. It is a tax on the American people. The money being brought in, a vast majority, 90% of it, is being brought in not by foreign countries paying, by the people that are importing the stuff. That gets passed on to us. They may have ate it the first time. They're not eating it anymore. And that gets passed on to us. And then what happens? Well, then we get frustrated because things go up. I mean, we're not the same country we were 30, 40 years ago. We're not that. And yes, prices, I mean, they're up. We've talked about it for a long time. And Trump is, I hope they're going to get stuff together sooner rather than later. But I think you've talked to a lot of Republicans out there. They feel, and several of you have texted me today, they're going to get boat race next year. Yeah, I think they are if they can't get this thing turned around. I think it will come around, but is it going to come around in time?
You know, and Harry, one thing we've heard over and over again is the president and many of those around him blaming the Biden administration for where inflation is right now. Do people agree with that?
No. You know what? I want to quote Judge Judy, but I'm not going to. I'm merely going to try and say that it's like they're trying to sell ice up at the North Pole when it comes to this. More responsible for the current economy. 62% of Americans say it's Donald Trump. Just 32% say it's Joe Biden. Look, Donald Trump did, in fact, inherit an economy from Joe Biden, but now we are nearly a year into the Donald Trump administration. If the Trump administration is trying to push the buck over there, they simply put, the American folks aren't buying it. They say at this point it is Donald Trump's economy, and what is happening in terms of inflation is his responsibility.
So job losses are up. and consumer confidence. And that's the one to me that is the most important thing, is the confidence. Because how you feel in the economy matters. If you feel great, you're going to go out and spend. You're not going to worry about anything. You know, you got your job. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to spend. If you feel nervous that your job may slow down, that you may be in a situation where, it's going to be, you may lose your gig, right? You're going to spend in a much different way. If you feel that there's going to be a slowdown coming next year, you're going to feel a much different than if you feel confident. And I want us to feel confident. I do. But our consumer confidence is taking a kick to the grundle. Here's the one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. You've never seen anything amazing. It's the bestest, greatest thing ever. That's just not true. And it's not about Trump. It's about the reality. Everybody makes it about as if, well, if it's about Trump, then it's my fault. No, it's not. First of all, the government's since the crazy bailouts that started after the crash in 2008, the amount of money we've pumped into stuff. And when I hear people say, well, Wall Street's great. Oh, so are you a full-time trader? Are you a full-time trader? Probably not. Because go look at how many people are pulling and borrowing money off their 401ks and their retirements. So it's great that you have that opportunity. I think they have a chance to get this back. But just don't lie to us. That's all I ask. Don't lie. Don't lie. So we pay tariffs, then he gives us $2,000 back, makes people think it's free money. It's not. Man, Bell looks at me today and goes, they're really going to give out these stupid checks.
Well, it's just going to cause inflation like it did last time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It is.
This is economics 101, and people want to pretend that if they don't acknowledge it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put my head in the sand and think everything's great. We can sit here, if it's gas is down. Gas is down here in Tennessee. The rest of the country, gas isn't down. Gas is up in some areas. We're lucky here in the southern part of the country, the gas is doing okay. But think about all the other places, because what? Stuff comes from other places to here, so that costs money. And everybody's like, price is down, rent's down. I don't know, where do you see rent down? Ken, are you doing stories about rent being down?
I have not seen those stories.
So it's not about whether everybody freaks out about, you're telling everybody how, Chad, you don't understand, everything's great. For you, it may be great. Again, it's also generational. Gen Z, millennials, and of course, Gen X, we're not feeling it the same way that the baby boomers are. Because other people feel it. And look, I'm blessed. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm blessed, but I feel it. I feel it. And again, Biden, awful, horrible. What did Biden do? But after Trump gave out the first go-round of money, he knew he shouldn't give out the second one, but then he did. And then he went to put his picture on it, which I thought was hilarious. Not going to lie to you. Then Biden came in and he said, hey, you know what I'm going to do? Something even stupider. And we're going to do the Inflation Reduction Act. And nothing's ever going to get done. And we're going to pump money into the economy. And then we're going to supercharge inflation. Then it's going to go crazy. And then it did. And then things settled. And then Trump has said, I'm going to get inflation down, and we're going to do it here, and this is the way it's going to. And right now, it just hasn't worked. Not the way he's hoping. Do I think it will? I think eventually it will. But you live at a time right now where they're fighting over whether or not to go out and help with subsidies based on the health care. So health care is going to go up, up, up. That's not going to help people. People are going to make this decision of, do I have health care? Do I not have health care? And they're going to see their health care rise. Then they're going to make decisions. Well, if I take health care, I'm not going to spend elsewhere. And yes, Obamacare sucks and it needs to be fixed. But you've got to remember, we live at a time where it's a snapshot. And this is the snapshot you have. Because by April, May of next year, if things aren't turned around, by November, things are going to be turned around in a different way. And the Republicans understand that. And it's about winning an election next year. That's why, when are they supposed to hand out the checks? Is it next, like, October or something?
Yeah, President Trump was floating the middle of next year.
Yeah. So, and
watch the SCOTUS decision come back like in spring and totally
Trump has
wreck
to
it.
call everybody, hey, can you guys send those checks back? Gas prices down, stock market's way up. We have most of our money invested in food. Food prices are about even. Okay. I mean, if you feel that, that's great. If you feel that way. But then are you saying that the other 75% of Americans are liars? And great, Wall Street and Main Street, separate things. It's great that you have your money invested there. Are you pulling off of your money? If you're retired and you're taking 3%, that's good. If you're 32 and you're having to borrow off your 401k so you can survive, that's not good. It's not. I mean, my thing is, I want Trump to succeed. I want all my presidents to succeed, especially when it comes to the economy. A lot of the other crap I don't want them to succeed at, when it comes to the wackiness of the Democrats. But when it comes to the economy, of course I do. Don't want him to fail. I don't want anybody to fail. But I don't want to be lied to, and I want the truth. And when I talk to people, and perfect place was yesterday, talking to a bunch of people, both on the phone and elsewhere, you know what I got? Time's a little tougher this year. I'm feeling a little bit more. Doesn't mean it's going to hell. Doesn't mean it's going to fall apart. Doesn't mean we're going to go into 2008. But we should be at least realistic about the fact that independents, and yes, even Republicans and Democrats are always going to say it sucks. Just like if Biden was in, Democrats would be kind of, well, it kind of sucks, but Republicans would be like, it way sucks, because that's partisanship. But over 50% of Republicans, 70-some% of independents, and 80% of Democrats all think the economy is struggling right now. And by the way, Rasmussen, who is super kind to Trump, last week said they got to figure this out and they can't continue to say that this is great, because what's going to happen is people are going to not believe him. Even when things turn around, they're going to run into trouble. And that's not what you want. That isn't. And I do think things will turn around. I do think it will.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at some data on rent, and it shows that rent is falling in some markets, but the average price is still historically high.
Yeah.
In many of these areas. And a lot of people are continuing to spend on travel, dining out, and discretionary goods, but that is often financed through their credit cards.
Which is, what do we have now, Ken? How much credit card debt?
It's about $1.8 trillion. And right now, the APRs now have, like the interest on credit cards are averaging 20 to 24%.
You might as well have somebody named Tony come over and give you cash, right, and get the VIG running.
Yeah, you're not even touching the principal.
No.
Until
that dinner you bought 6 months ago, you haven't even come close to touching the principal on that bad dog. Not even come close. That's the thing.
When you got the bill, it was 120, and now it's up to about 310.
Yeah, that's the same thing with your. I mean, have you ever watched people talk about their student debt? And they're like, okay, I graduated 22 years ago. I owed $87,000. I now owe $107,000, and I pay $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
So there are issues and cracks. Let's not pretend there's not. The thing is, we need to hope that Trump and them get it going straight, right, and do our best. And I know a lot of people saying, well, people are spending money on discretionary, silly things. Yeah, but if they stop spending, then the economy's really going to struggle. So it's that weird world we're living at. We're still trying to keep up with the Joneses, and we're financing it to do so. Coming up, Matt, I see him out there. He's got another vest on. He's very vesty last couple of days. Although I wore a vest yesterday, guys. I'm going to point that out.
Way to go, brother.
I dressed up a little bit. Today, guys, what are we all wearing?
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Ooh. Rock 1530 AM.
Yeah, that's right.
Does AM still matter back then?
AM apps. You could make a living in AM back in the day. We're wrapping up straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Wrapping it up on this beautiful Tuesday, my Friday. What do you got over there? Somebody send you something?
I don't know. It's probably nothing good.
If it's white powder, let us know.
Well, it's what is it? Something about. Hey, Chad, how's it going?
What's going on, brother? How you
Well
doing?
done yesterday.
That was fun.
It was a great
great.
event. It
That
was
was
a lot of
great
fun.
event. It's good people. You know, it was good talking to some people out there too. Grabbed on the phones a couple times, and it was good talking to some of the listeners out there and people calling in to donate, which I think is just again a worthwhile cause. It's awesome. What'd you get?
Who's behind the left's vicious assaults on President Trump?
Who is it?
Oh, it's something about Dinesh D'Souza. I don't know.
Oh, it's Dinesh.
Or is it?
Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah.
There you go. Sign that.
That's going in the trash.
Okay, good.
Anyway, enough of that.
There you go. What's going on, brother? You ready for what do you got? You're working tomorrow, right?
I'm working tomorrow. I'll be here to, I was off Friday, so, I'm working tomorrow before Thanksgiving. Obviously, we have both Thanksgiving Day and the day after. The roads are, I know you don't drive a lot, but the roads are empty, baby. Empty.
Really?
Today.
See, Ken said some of the roads were nasty.
Well, my experience on 40 both yesterday and today, and obviously I don't do 24 or whatever, and some of them might be worse than, I guess 65 as an artery might be a little bit different,
Yeah.
but 40 seemed, in the city, it seems that there's little traffic. I think a lot of people are off.
I'm going to have to move somewhere where I take 40 into town.
Yeah.
That's the way to live, Ken.
Because right now, that truck that
24.
caught fire is still backing up 24.
And it's my understanding that he was going to take 40, but he decided to take 24 because he knew he was going to explode.
Well, not only that, really. Knew he was going to explode. And Ken's all, I thought you were talking about Ken because Ken's all, you know what, it smelled like beer as I drove by.
It did.
What?
I think it was a big old beer truck.
So
out there.
that's what I thought. Ken's like, is there a beer truck over there? I should probably get into a different. I'm going to go take several freeways to get to that beer truck.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Why did it take you 9 hours? Well, I get to the beer truck.
Well, I had to go get some beer.
Smelled like hot beer.
Oh, hot beer. Hot beer. What are you talking about today? Anything exciting?
We'll talk a little about the District 7 race. Obviously, it's a week to go. There's one day to go before early voting is done. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson will be on with us at 4:05 today to discuss the importance of the Matt Van Epps race. I think Van Epps is going to join him on that call. So we'll discuss that. Plus, we have Stuart McWhorter on, who's now the deputy governor, and I don't really understand what that is. But we'll find out from Stuart. And he was the head of the Department of Economic Affairs in Tennessee, talking about property taxes. So those two things are going to be very exciting.
Are you going to ask him what the deputy governor does?
Yes.
Do you get a badge?
I don't know. It's like, are you like Barney Fife to Andy Griffith? I don't know. But he was named. He was the head of the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Affairs, or just Economic Affairs. And now he's been named deputy governor.
Okay.
And I don't really know what that does. So let's find out. I mean, when like the governor goes out of town to Mount Pilot, do you have to take over and act as
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
The whole town.
Mount Pilot.
Do you remember, was it Idaho? Ken, do you remember that time that the governor left in Idaho and the lieutenant governor took over and they changed all the rules?
Yes, I was there for it.
See, I know of the two of you who's a fan of Andy Griffith and who maybe wasn't.
Barney. You know, Andy. Governor Lee's gone, and I'm going to take over. Put my bullet in my gun.
Every time Andy left town, Barney got
super excited. He was taking down all the crimes,
screwed
the cartels.
everything up, and he jailed everybody.
Yeah, and he deputized Goober and Gomer.
Oh, well, as you do.
Or at one time he deputized Floyd.
Yes.
Oh, Floyd. I love me some Floyd.
Yes.
All right, guys. Have an amazing rest
have a
of your
great
days.
Thanksgiving.
Have a great Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Matt, straight ahead.